Hi, this is a question on refraction of light, and I am going to answer this in very general terms. I'm not going to actually solve it because it requires some information that I don't have offhand right now. Maybe another time, another question, I may be able to put actual numbers on there, but I'll give you enough of a roadmap so you can calculate it yourself using a simple standard scientific calculator. Okay, so here is the question. Light traveling from ground glass to water strikes the interface at a 51-degree angle to the surface. What is the angle of refraction in water? Now, the first thing that you want to keep in mind is that the angle is being measured from the surface. So the angle in this case, angle of incidence and angle of refraction are both measured from the normal. In other words, what it means is that the angle you will be taking is 90 minus 51. So the angle of incidence will be 49 degrees. Okay, so that's one important thing to remember. The second thing is for both ground glass and water, find the refractive index. It should be listed on Google so you can find those values and use them in this equation. And I'm going to define this equation or explain this equation in just a moment. Let me see if there's anything else. No, so that's all. That's it. So let me go ahead and explain this equation to you. N stands for refractive index, but when it says Ni, that means refractive index of the material of through which of incidence. So that's where the light is coming from. And then NR, R stands for refraction. So that is the angle refractive index of the material into which the light is traveling. So in other words, light will, by definition, the light will always travel from I to R. So the angle I is also obviously the angle in the medium of incidence. R is the angle in the medium of refraction. And as long as you have three out of these four values, you should be able to find the fourth one. Of course, for the sin I and the sin R, that's something you can find from your calculator. So if you are supposing you're looking for the angle of refraction, like in this case, uh, you take the angle of incidence as 49, so you find the sine 49 from your calculator, use the value of uh, the refractive index of ground glass for N1. NR is water, and you can find the refractive index of that from Google. And then that using that, you should be able to find sine R. Once you have sine R, then of course you use your calculator and determine R using the inverse of that value. Sine inverse of whatever value you get for sine R will give you the value of R. Okay, so that's basically all there is to it. And I hope that this is going to help you. I tried to put this answer on the Wyzant website, but if for some reason the recording's not working, I waited and waited and waited, and it would not process the recording. So here I am. I have to put it on YouTube, but I am going to put this information up on Wyzant so you can read, and then you can follow from there and come here and look at the answer. All right, so that's about all there is. This is Mr. A signing off.